our discussion tonight on the draft constitution. Should it be renegotiated before or after the referendum? My guests in studio with me, the Honourable Martha Karua, Member of Parliament for Gishugu, and the Honourable William Ruto, the Minister for Agriculture. Now, before we went back to our I&M studios, the Honourable Martha Karua, you had mentioned about a change of heart, and you asked the Honourable Ruto...
I should respond to that.
Yes. What is it that made him and his team change tack?
One, it is not correct for anybody to allege that we have had a change of heart. The abortion clause, as crafted in Naivasha, is not what we have today in the draft constitution. It was manipulated by the committee of experts for reasons best known to them. The chapter on land is a disaster, as I see it today. The amendments we had carried out in Naivasha are absolutely clear. They make a world of a difference to the chapter that we have today.
The chapter that we have today, what is it that you find contentious? The chapter
that you have today says that the Constitution protects all property except property that is land. If you read clearly, section 40, subsection 3A, it is categorical. The same chapter gives wide-ranging powers to a monster called the National Land Commission to decide on a variety of things. And in a very strange twist of events, one of the sections was read to a crowd in Eldoret over the last weekend, which said that community land is land that is ancestral and claims by persons who have ancestral rights to land. That is in the Constitution. In where I come from, where land is very emotive, if you have such reckless clauses in the Constitution, you are going to raise hell in this country. And we must be careful. So many other chapters. Let me mention, for example, if you look at the chapter on devolution, we have 47 counties. If you look at the rationale, how the committee of experts arrived at 47 counties, they said it was because of the old colonial districts. That is why in the draft today, you have a county like Kiambu, which has 10 constituencies and 1 million people, and a county like Mandera, which has 100,000 people and 3 constituencies. You have a county in Meru that has 7 constituencies and 1.5 million people. Next to it, you have another county called Tharaka Nithi with 2 constituencies. In Kakamega, you have a county with 9 constituencies, the now Kakamega County. On the sides, you have other small. How are we going to say there is equity? The reason why we fought for a new constitution is because we wanted fairness. We are entrenching fairness and fairness in the inequity into the constitution. These same counties with very different demographic and even size will be electing 1 senator, 1 governor, 1 woman representative. How are they going to take it? That's why there is a big ball now being played out there. Kenyans are asking themselves, on what basis were these arrived at? We were not rational. We are saying, even those of us who are in Naivasha, we are not necessarily angels. We have seen that there are issues that are glaring. That is why Parliament, 3 members of Parliament, Kioni, Akula from Western Province, Balala, they tried to move an amendment to make sure that we correct that anomaly on counties, so that we don't take a document that creates inequality that Kenyans can see that is too obvious for us to live with. Let me finish. The chapter on the executive.
Leave some time for me.
I'll leave some time for you.
We will come to you
in a minute. The chapter on the executive, the single reason that drove this country to a new constitution is power and how it was exercised. It was called an imperial presidency. And Martha Karua will accept that we argued with her thoroughly in Naivasha that if we are going to go the route of a pure presidential system, we must have an elaborate devolved government for it to manage the excessive powers of the presidency. Today, we have an imperial presidency, so to speak. That is what Kenyans fought against, because we failed to agree on a devolution mechanism that contains, everywhere where you have a pure parliamentary system, either the government is federal or it has a clear, elaborate system.
All right,
and
let me get Honorable Karua's comments on this.
Before Mother
No, leave some time for me, please. Now, I am actually very disappointed. We should take responsibility for things we did at Naivasha and not shove them over to the committee of experts. Let me begin on the chapter on land. The things that William is saying are in the land section is more his interpretation of what it says. There is no clause which says you have a right to land except. That language is not in the land chapter.
It is there.
What is there is that the government, there is a clause, just like there is in today's constitution, which can allow compulsory acquisition, and it's never left without compensation to the person. So there is no except in that chapter.
Can I read
and
for you?
I think that people must read, interpret for themselves. And the chapter on land, the committee of experts did not do much to it, if at all. It is substantially the way we agreed upon it in Naivasha. I have read the document. I'm a lawyer. I think it actually protects the rights of everyone.
The section, though,
can we read section 40, subsection 3?
When it goes to devolution,
it says absolutely.
When we go to devolution, actually it's not the committee of experts that crafted the 47 counties. It is the select committee, William and myself included. The committee of experts had 74 counties, and every Kenyan knows. Let's take responsibility. How did we arrive at the 47? We took the original 46 colonial districts, and then we added Nairobi to make 47. Why did we do that? Because we could not agree on where the boundaries are. We are not boundary experts, and we were not willing to leave it to the legality team. We wanted a constitution that tells us where the boundaries are. Are the people who are more in one county than the other going to be marginalized, say in finances? No, because finances are given taking into account the population and poverty index. Even today, our constituencies are not equal. We have constituencies with as few as 15,000 voters, and constituencies like Williams or Junja or other places which has close to 200,000 voters. Therefore, you cannot be merely marginalized because the area is small. Every party in Kenya will have a member of parliament.
Honorable
of the national,
please
give me enough.
Right,
I have not even gone to the executive.
Continue.
Be fair to both of us. Therefore, you cannot say you are going to be marginalized merely because the county is bigger. If the senator is presiding over a larger area than the next county's senator, the reason is that the Senate is supposed to balance the parliament. We chose presidential system, which was proposed by none other than William Ruto. Although my party, NARC Kenya, proposed a parliamentary system to COE, in Naivasha, it was William Ruto who hurriedly proposed the presidential system. He was seconded by Honorable Mudavadi, the Deputy Prime Minister, local government, and we debated about it. Does it create an imperial presidency? The answer is no. It has a strong precedent, but who is so tamed? The powers, any appointment, including ambassadors, whom the president appoints today without reference to anyone, Parliament will have to approve. The scenario we saw in the Ringera saga recently, if the president fails to consult the National Assembly, then it would not be legal. So all the presidential powers in major issues will be approved by the National Assembly. I'm asking Kenyans who have watched the debate in America, President Obama has had to even lobby members of his own party, the Democratic Party, to approve his health plan. That is the level of accountability that is being sought.